So what is going on, everybody? Today I want to talk to you about something that I had no idea would work with my skill builds. So I put on one of the hardest hitting skill builds in the game, and I went to the range just to test this bad boy out. And I would tell you, this thing works with skill builds. What am I talking about? Well, you might notice I'm carrying something shiny right here. We like to call this the Busy Little Bee, the new exotic pistol that you get from Season 10. And yes, this bad boy works with skill builds. Pretty crazy. And we'll talk about all of it right now. Now, before we go to the range to show you the full test that I did to show you how it works and why it's working, and I'm not sure if this is intended, I'm going to show you a little bit of legendary gameplay. Yeah, this is the legendary part. I'm able to build 1 or 2 stacks, so even if I don't get full stacks, it's still very powerful because depending on how many stacks you get, whether it's 1 stack for 20%, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, 4 stacks, remember you get up to 10 stacks, you're still going to get that chunk, so you can get 20%, 40%, 60%. And that's a lot of damage, especially when you start adding that to your skill builds. I believe the hardest I can hit with this build at full stacks is about 822,000, and that's also with proccing in sync. And I'll explain that in a second. I'll show you the full test I did with everything, and I just wanted to show you guys this thing was hitting so hard, and it wasn't too hard to build a stack, especially when you get a bunch of enemies like this in a confined area. I was able to easily just target them, and I can imagine if I did this in a group setting, it would work really good too. So that's what I think this is probably going to work the best when you do this in a group setting, because if other players are taking a lot of damage from you, you're able just to focus enemies like this here and there, and then you can let the skills do all the work. And that's just something pretty cool to see, that I was able to really build the stack at least more than halfway, right? So if we only got a 5 stack, that's 100% extra skill damage that I'm getting on here. Even though it says weapon damage, it works on the skills. So I don't know if this is as intended or because your drones shoot bullets, that's why it's working like this. So just something for you guys to keep in mind. But what I want to do right now is I definitely want to show you guys the full test and show you guys the numbers I was able to pull. So to make sure everything is even, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the exotic holster, the waveform holster, because remember that alternates a 3% stack up to 30 on each side. So I have 30% on one side, 30% on other, 30% on one side. So I don't really want that to affect, so you guys can test and see this. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna actually put on this Wyvernware holster. Has skill damage, status effect, skill tier, and the 2-piece gives you 10% status effect. But we're gonna just leave this on. So this should be, the damage should be the same throughout the whole. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually put this on medium. Well, I'm gonna actually put it on hard. I'm gonna put the Busy Little Bee. I'm gonna actually build my stack real quick. And we're gonna put this on very hard. So you can see I almost have a full stack of Busy Little Bee. And then I'm gonna build a stack. So the stack is full, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my turret, and then I'm gonna shoot these targets over here so you can see. So you can see we're hitting about 166,000, right? 166,000. Now what I'm gonna do, well, I wanted to proc tech support. Okay, so tech support is proc now, so we're getting about 208,000, right? So we just want to make sure we keep this procced. Now what I want you to do is, well, look what happens when I swap to my primary. 625,000. That is crazy. And remember, that lasts 10 seconds. And I'm not even shooting my main target. This is why this is so crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the stack again. We wanna test it one more time. So we have a full stack again, as you guys can see here. And what are we hitting for, 208? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap, and Busy Little Bee is gonna proc the talent. So 625. Oh, no, it went out. Oh, no. And let's see what it's hitting for. 744. So it actually got up to 744 with the full stack. So that's a ton of damage. And it not only works with this, but look, I just want to show you that it works. It's going to work with the striker drone too. What we have here is we actually have our striker drone, and I just want to show you what it's doing. So it has 104,000 right now, currently with nothing procced, right? It's about to proc tech support, so that's going to give it that extra damage. So what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna build the buff with Busy Little Bee, and we have a full stack, right? So we already see what I have. 130,000, right? And I'm gonna swap my weapon now, and I should get the proc from Busy Little Bee on the Striker Drone too. 390,000. That's crazy. Now remember, that lasts 10 seconds. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna shoot with my weapon too. 464,000. This is crazy. And then we just lost our buff. So that's what I'm telling you. This works not only with the Striker Drone, but also with your assault turret. And you guys have to remember that I wasn't even using my build. So we're gonna add waveform on top of that. And this build, it should put out some pretty crazy numbers. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna see what's the highest I can get from either one of these. So let's reset this real quick. I'm gonna build my stack, set up our drone. See if we get any, what are the highest numbers we see. So tech support's procced. So I'm gonna swap and I'm gonna start shooting. I saw 822,000. Yeah, 822,000 looks like the highest number I'm hitting right now. I can't imagine if I had level 20 on this. That would be pretty crazy. So for the build that I was using, just so you guys can keep in mind, I was running a 3-piece Empress International. All the pieces have skill damage and skill haste, what we're testing out. So you'll see we have skill haste, skill damage, skill haste on the mod. For the gloves, another Empress International, skill haste, skill damage. And then the third piece of Empress International, skill damage, skill haste on every single piece. And they all have skill tier. Empress International gives us 10% skill health, 10% skill damage, and 10% skill efficiency. I paired that up with the Sacrifice. Now this has skill damage, skill haste, and a skill haste mod, plus perfect class cannon. What it does is all damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you intake is amplified by 60%. That amplified 30% also applies to your skills. And we head over here, and I decided to go with a Wyvern War backpack with skill tier, has skill haste, skill damage, and skill haste mod. Now I have tech support on here versus combined arms, just because with this build, since I am going to be popping those stacks, I need to get out of cover to get those stacks going, as you guys will see in a second. So I felt like tech support would work perfect with this build, but perfect combined arms is a really good piece to put instead of this one. So we have skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 20 seconds. And for the skills, we're running the Striker Drone, which is going to have 5% striker damage from the expertise. And I also have the assault turret, which has 5% damage too. So that is what I am running. And then I have one damage mod, a duration mod, and skill haste on the turret. On the drone, I have duration, health, and damage. Now, the pistol itself is the Busy Little Bee, and what does it do and how come it works? Now, the way the Busy Little Bee works is each shot to a different target will give you one stack. Now, you could do this up to 10 times. Each stack gives you 20% weapon damage increase. Now, this is a total of 200% weapon damage. Now, I didn't think this would work because my skills really aren't weapon damage, but I guess because they are assault drones and striker drones, they shoot bullets. Maybe that's why. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know if you know why. Is this a bug? Is this how it's intended? Or is the wording a little off? Now, stacks will activate once the agent switch weapons and will last for 10 seconds. So this is where this gets pretty crazy. So the fact that this works with skill builds was very surprising. And the one downfall is you can't use the capacitor, which is one of the best skill build weapons to use, but this actually makes up for it. 200%, if you get a full stack, you get it for 10 seconds, 200% extra skill damage. The numbers are pretty crazy. And being able to hit high, even if you build maybe only a 5 stack, that's 100% extra skill damage. So you don't even have to get the full stack to make it really work. And for those 10 seconds, you see the amount of damage that you get. Now, I did try this on Legendary. I tried it for a couple sections. It does work to be able to build those stacks. And I can't imagine Heroic is any harder to build the stacks. But I was just very surprised that you were able to get these types of numbers. And the crazy part about it is my expertise on my skills are only 5. I'm going to work on getting these at least to 10 and testing this again. I bet if I get this to 20, I'll probably be hitting over 1 million. And all because of this pistol right here. So This is pretty crazy. Let me know if you knew about this. Let me know, have you tried this with anything else, any other skills? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate the support, guys. Appreciate the love. I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, hey, nothing but skills. I'll take it easy, everybody.